going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite for my second zombie video of the week, which is a nice surprise considering it's the holidays, but zombies is also on a bit of a hiatus, so I did not expect to be making this video, but we are going to be talking about the real impossible Easter egg that took over 4 years to solve, and it's one that you probably didn't even know much about. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and let me know down below in the comment section, what is your opinion of Black Ops 4 Zombies now that it's been out for so long? Has your opinion changed on the game since its release? Let me know down below in the comment section. But I want to give a big shout out to Anthony, aka ShiverSoftDev over on Twitter, who recently began reverse engineering Black Ops 4 to figure out any unsolved Easter eggs. And just a couple of weeks ago, he figured out the 9 Fireballs Easter egg, which ended up leading to a couple of ciphers. And I understand you guys out there might have a hot opinion about somebody out there data mining or hacking to figure out unsolved quests. I totally get that point of view when a map is new or even when the game is in its life cycle. But when it comes to something like the 9 Fireballs or this really difficult Easter egg on Dead of the Night, it's also for a story that is no longer going to continue. I mean, hey, maybe it might because of the teaser we got in Shinonuma Reborn recently, but this is something that nobody out there was ever going to figure out, and here's why. So this has to do with the vases over on Dead of the Night. The vases have always been a mystery ever since people discovered that you can break them, and as Anthony confirmed over on Twitter, you can get up to 6 perks and Homunculus for all players in the game by doing this very complicated quest. So this is by far the definition of an impossible Easter egg, and it's probably one of the more difficult Easter eggs that Treyarch has ever implemented into a zombies experience. Yes, this has a worthwhile reward that isn't a cipher. Check it out. So there are 6 areas around the map tied to the vases: the forest, the cellar, the dining hall, the greenhouse, the library, and even the cemetery. Each area has a respective vase inside the mansion, and you want to remember the order in which you open those 6 areas in. You also need to open all 6 of those areas before you can even start this quest. To break the vases, you can use frags, acid grenades, or the trebuchet. I'd highly recommend bringing in the trebuchet since it's much easier to destroy the vases that way. And what you want to do is shoot the 6 vases in the order you open their respective zones in.
Forces of the spirit world, deliver us from darkness. And baby, stop sending all those dead blokes our way. No, this can't be happening. Perfect for an intimate dinner with 50 of your closest friends. Is it supposed to make my teeth hurt?
Now, after you've done that, each area will have a respective candle. You need to light those candles with a wraith fire in the opposite order that you open the areas in. The candles are going to be lit in those areas until you destroy the vases. Then you'll notice that the candles actually go out, in which you have to reignite them using wraith fires specifically. Now, some big disclaimers is that if you destroy the vases in the incorrect order, you have to restart your game. If you light the candles in the incorrect order, you also have to restart your game. So be very careful with doing these steps. But now it gets even crazier. There are 6 record players around the map, and you need to know the order that you discovered them in. I'm not kidding. You need to know in what order you first came across those record players, which does mean that you have to look at exactly when you saw and were in proximity of those record players to know what the order is of the record players themselves. So you don't have to walk up and interact with them, you just have to walk up and look at the record player. It's unclear how close you have to be to it, but this gets more complicated with the more players you have in your game. You need to know which player discovered which record player first. I'll show you all the record players on screen so you can see. So obviously this is easier on solo, but it does require a lot of communication for 2-player, 3-player, and even 4-player games. So once you've done the candle step, a record will now spawn in this specific location. You have to pick it up and insert it in the reverse order you found the record players in. But the trick is having the player who first found that specific player to be the one to insert the record that goes to it. But also another disclaimer, the entire quest will fail if anybody inserts the wrong record into the wrong player, and you have to restart your game, similar to if you made a mistake with destroying the wrong vase or lighting the wrong candle in the wrong order. Once you fully figure out which player found which record player first, you now have to interact with those by placing the records inside of them in the opposite order you found them. I know, it doesn't make any sense as to why they thought about making a quest this complicated. I mean, the reward is worth it, but you'll see what I mean in a second. Now, what's also crazy is that the 6th record player, as I showed you, is behind one of the secret bookcases that also requires a quest to open it. So once you've done all of that, you want to stand right over here in the mansion, and you have to follow the sound of a ghost. You won't see anything, but you'll hear it. And you have to follow that sound to wherever it leads you. But the thing is, if you get stuck in place and the sound isn't moving, it means you either have to crouch and continue escorting it, or you have to go prone for it to continue moving. It will then lead you to a specific area on the map in which you go completely prone, and you then get jump scared. A couple seconds after that, you will now get 6 perks and Homunculus for every player in the game. But there's also a disclaimer with that as well. Players who do not participate in destroying any of the vases will not get the Homunculus upgrade, but will end up getting those perks. So make sure at least everyone in your match destroys 1 vase. Now, this obviously would have never been discovered in a public match, or probably ever, but I guess this does go to show how tedious some of the quests are in Black Ops 4.